you there is some moving and shaking going on in the Indiana Fever organization because they have definitely let go of a player. Now, I know y'all thinking, what does this mean? This means Caitlin Clark return is sooner rather than later. Could that be why we did not see Caitlin come back? I mean, we did not see Caitlin travel with the team this past week.
Caitlin Clark just dropped the update fans have been dying to hear. Her comeback is officially on the way, and the WNBA may never look the same. After weeks of injuries, setbacks, swirling rumors, and complete silence, she's finally silencing the doubt. Her return has fans buzzing, rivals nervous, and the entire league bracing for what's next. But this road back hasn't been simple. Clark's season was supposed to be about dominance, yet it quickly turned into a fight against her own body. First came the groin issues that sidelined her when the Fever needed her most, sparking heated debates over whether she was being properly protected on the court. Then, just as hope for her return grew, disaster struck again. Reports revealed she suffered a bone bruise in her left ankle during solo training in early August.
The Indiana Fever have officially released Kyra Lambert, a guard from overseas who Stephanie White signed on a trust me bro recommendation. Somebody who Stephanie White didn't even know existed up until about 8 days ago. Unfortunately for Kyra Lambert, her time on the Indiana Fever has come and her time on the Indiana Fever has gone. Best of luck to you and your future endeavors.
Almost overnight, her situation shifted from uncertain to downright unpredictable, and whispers about whether she'd even step on the court again. This season spread like wildfire. The timing couldn't have been worse. Indiana's backcourt was crumbling. Ari McDonald, Julie Alleman, and Sophie Cunningham were already sidelined with injuries of their own. What was supposed to be Caitlin's breakout campaign quickly unraveled into a nightmare, with the team limping toward the finish line. Coaches offered cautious optimism, but refused to set a return date, leaving fans desperate for answers. Social media buzzed with a single question: when is Caitlin coming back? But the real story ran deeper. As the injuries mounted, so did the pressure from fans, the media, and the league itself, turning her potential comeback into less of a return and more of a high-stakes gamble.
Now, why is this move curious? Well, Lambert was on a 7-day deal, so the Fever could just be looking at this break knowing that her contract was going to expire anyway and not wanting to waste her time. But under the hardship rules, as that it has been, put out there and publicized, the Fever only had to release one of the two players between Odyssey Sims and Kyra Lambert once Caitlin Clark was back. But one of them was going to have to go.
With Caitlin Clark sidelined, the entire WNBA felt like a different league. Ticket sales dipped, broadcast teams scrambled to keep ratings afloat, and fans quickly realized just how much her presence fueled the game. Every scrap of news, whether from coach Stephanie White, a mysterious insider leak, or even a cryptic tweet, was treated like breaking headlines. Rumors swirled that she might return by late August, with key matchups circled on the calendar, but no one confirmed a thing. That silence only fed the frenzy. Commentators argued endlessly. Should she shut it down and fully recover, or risk it because the Fever's playoff hopes hinged on her? Even rival players chimed in. Sophie Cunningham hinted in an interview that almost ready doesn't cut it at this level, implying Clark's return had to be 100%, not rushed. Fans debated whether it was support, shade, or both. Meanwhile, the buzz only grew louder. Social media erupted at every mention of her name. ESPN analysts insisted her comeback could instantly flip the playoff picture. Teams, sponsors, and networks all waited, knowing one thing for sure.
Odyssey Sims has played herself into more of a role for the Fever. She got a bunch of minutes in the game on Sunday, 42 minutes for Sims. Lambert didn't play, right? So you can see relative one to the other where the Fever were looking at things from the pecking order standpoint. Now, there's also the Sophie Cunningham injury, but to be honest, I'm not sure how that would impact things. unless they felt they needed somebody at that position rather than more depth at the point guard.
When Caitlin Clark steps back onto the court, the entire energy of the WNBA shifts instantly. But her return isn't just about showing up. It's about rewriting the moment. The last time she came back from injury, she didn't ease her way in. She stormed back with a performance so electric, it stunned even NBA stars. Facing the powerhouse New York Liberty, on a night that was supposed to crush the Fever, Clark delivered one of the most unforgettable comebacks in league history. 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, and 7 three-pointers that felt like lasers from another galaxy. The Liberty's undefeated streak ended right there, and suddenly the Fever's season had new life. But that game wasn't about the box score. It was a statement, a reminder that Caitlin Clark is more than hype, more than ticket sales, more than headlines. She's a generational player capable of flipping the script on the biggest stage. Social media exploded, highlights ran for days, and NBA legends took notice. Even LeBron James jumped on X, declaring, "CC effect, welcome back." That night didn't just raise the bar, it set it.
Fever fans, I don't know, we might have some good news. Well, we might have some great news. CC, my precious CC might be returning. Might be. You hear me? Because they just released Kyra Lambert. You hear me? She had 3 ACL tears. So she wasn't good for nothing anyway. She fragile. How you have that many ACL tears? But thank you for providing us 7 days of your presence. You hear me? We needed you to fill in. You hear me? Because the GOAT, the greatest of all time, is about to return.
With her latest comeback on the horizon, fans are asking the same question. Can she capture that magic once more? Or have the injuries and pressure finally caught up with her? This time, the stakes feel heavier than ever. Her team is barely holding on, and the WNBA itself seems to be leaning on Caitlin to deliver more than just her own redemption. Her return isn't simply about proving she can play again, it's about survival. The Fever are battered. Their guard rotation gutted with McDonald, Coulson, and Cunningham all sidelined for the season. Without Caitlin, they've scraped for every win, leaning on unlikely heroes and fiery locker room speeches just to stay alive. One night, that fight turned into a miracle. An overtime comeback fueled by Stephanie White's passionate words that sparked the team to stun their opponents. But grit can only take them so far. Everyone knows the truth. Without Caitlin, a serious playoff run is almost out of reach, and the league feels it too.
Did know that once Caitlin Clark was back, one of the 2 hardship signings was going to have to go. So that's naturally where people's heads were thinking when it was reported on the ESPN broadcast that Clark, the hope was she would return to practice this week with target dates the 22nd, 24th, 26th, those games being thrown out as potential return dates. Now, I don't have any other updates on that. I mean, I took Stephanie White's comments as they hope still she returns at the regular season a little less confident than the
WNBA is riding a wave of record-breaking attendance and viewership, but much of that surge can be traced back to Caitlin Clark. She's the one selling out arenas, dominating national headlines, and turning highlight reels into viral moments. Her absence hasn't just hurt the Fever, it's left a void the entire league has struggled to fill. That's why her comeback carries so much weight. It's not only about her recovery, it's about the expectations of her team, her fans, and perhaps even the future of the WNBA itself. The pressure is enormous. Return too soon, and she risks re-injury and jeopardizing her career. Wait too long, and the Fever could slip out of contention. Either choice is a gamble with stakes as high as they come. But now fans finally have the news they've been waiting for. Caitlin Clark is preparing to step back on the court, and the entire basketball world is holding its breath.
Throughout her second season in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark has posted 16.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 8.8 assists per game for the Indiana Fever. Clark started the season on a tear under Stephanie White, but has since struggled to stay on the court, playing her second season as a professional. The Fever have 9 remaining games of their regular season schedule. They have a long break before their next matchup on Friday. The venue will be open. giving Clark a chance to rehab as the Fever take several days off from Game.
After weeks of silence, speculation, and mounting frustration, the breakthrough finally arrived. Caitlin Clark confirmed what fans had been desperate to hear. Her comeback was near. It wasn't announced with a flashy press conference or a viral social media video. Instead, the news trickled out bit by bit through coach updates, insider whispers, and leaks from those close to the Fever. Stephanie White hinted Clark was already back in live practices. Teammates suggested she looked sharp, and insiders reported she had been eyeing late August for her official return.
Chance? But the only thing I'm concerned about is she 100% healthy? You hear me? And I need to know what's going on with Sophie, because that's her enforcer. Because everybody else on the team be acting like they scared and softer than Charmin tissue. You hear me? Y'all better protect my precious CC by any means necessary. Playoffs. That's right there in the view. You hear me? Here we come. The referees need to get it in gear. I still don't trust.
The moment the silence broke, the reaction was electric. Social media exploded, some fans celebrating with crying emojis and fire symbols, others cautioning that she shouldn't risk rushing back too soon. ESPN anchors debated the news like it was a playoff upset, calling it the biggest turning point of the WNBA season. Rival teams brace themselves, knowing a healthy Clark doesn't just put up points, she changes the entire balance of the league. But confirmation only stirred the frenzy further. Was Clark truly ready, or was Indiana pushing too hard? Sophie Cunningham, sidelined with her own injury, added fuel by dropping a sharp reminder. Almost ready isn't good enough at this level. To some, it was a warning. To others, a challenge. Then came the rumors. Some insiders pegged her return for the 22nd. Others said the 24th, or even the 26th. Suddenly, every upcoming Fever game became must-watch, and ticket prices skyrocketed overnight.